Good afternoon. How we doing, guys? We have about a minute out until this next bar closes up. ATR is sitting at 28. You know I don't mind 28. 28's not too bad of an ATR. I'd much prefer if that thing said, what about 78? That'd be tremendous. But 28, we can do 28. So, you know, I'm not thrilled, but let's jump in. If that said 8, I'd be pissed. But it says 28, so all right, we'll deal with 28. But we've got 50 seconds out here until Big Bar 44 closes up. And this right here would be what? Can anybody tell me? Quite the early trade, wouldn't it here? So we've got the wick high of 32, the wick high of bar 6, and ATR is 28, of course. Range on this bar is about 40 points. Bit outsized in comparison, but let's see here. Let's see here. All right. 15 seconds out. See how this closes up. We've got the high of day. Of course, the wick high of 6, that previous high of day, I should say. And stop limit buy goes out. Place that stop limit buy, roll over, and if the bulls want it, then I want to be a part of it, man. If they don't want it, I want no part in that attempted breakout. I'm going to give that about, you know what, I'll give it 20 seconds total. That's really all this deserves here, 20 seconds. No fill, no trade, go ahead and pull it. Go ahead and pull it. All right, guys, bar 45, let's see. Peter, my man, hope your day gets better, brother. Jackson, how we doing? Nick, Clark, Roy, Trevor. Come on in, baby. We got work to do. So, you know, volatility here really slowing. Starting to ramp back up. Let's hope it ramps back up, gets ATR back into the 30s, maybe the 40s. Would be nice. JJ, DK, Big Dog. What's up? Come on in. All right, 3 minutes out. I don't mind this at all. Okay, so 44, first bar to close above the wick high of bar 6. So I'm watching 45. No fill, of course, on the close of 44 for the early trade. Now, when I shout out numbers like this, if you're a little newer here, I am talking about the bar count. That is the number of the bar since the New York Open, right? So watching bar 45. Okay, range on 45 here thus far, sitting right about 1 ATR, maybe a hair higher in terms of range. Got ATR down here 28, range on this bar is about 30-ish points, maybe 31 points. Yeah, you know, chat here, wifey's in the chat. I also heard that somewhere. I can't verify, but I heard that if you don't hit like or dislike also counts, by the way. that your July is going to be red. I don't make the fucking rules. I apologize. That's just what I heard. And like, what, are you going to take that risk? How's the reward to risk there? Takes half a second to press the button and you're staring at a red July. I don't know. I know what I'd do. All right, 45, 60 seconds out. So it's set up like this. We have bar 43, 44, 45. We have 28 seconds till the bar closes up. If 45 can get a nice clean close, I am entering a buy, a long trade. So let's see if we get it. Big old wick back. That wick is half the size of 45. There's nothing I can do there on 45. All right, let's watch 46. Oh man, you guys are too funny. Yeah, my shoe size, I'm a size 5.5 shoe in the kids section. So I have a limited selection, so a lot of my kicks light up when I stomp. All right, we got bar 46. 327 out, man. Let's see what we get. Pushing here into the high of day. Market's got its eye on 30K. Oh yeah, man, the Heelys. I never had a pair of Heelys. Those babies were a little too much money growing up. All right, baby. 43, 44, 45, 46. ATR 28. Stop limit buy goes out. Place that guy right there. Roll over, bulls. Take it. Take it, baby. And I am filled. Bring him up. Place him. It's always tough to get him right where I want him. There you go. Bring that guy up. All right. I'm sitting long here on NQ. ATR 26. All right, good setup. Now I'll just accept the outcome, move out my day, man. ATR sitting 26.27. Coming right into 30K, by the way. We love it. Now, we have seen 30K. How many times have we seen 30K now? About 30,000 times? Not a big fan of these huge S-tier levels. But in this scenario, it can't stop me from taking that setup. So, but I will tell you, since we have about a little more than maybe 1.5. Well, what I should say is the distance. The ATR is 1.5-ish times the distance to 30K. Shouldn't be that tough to explain. So what I'm looking for is if I can get that full ATR, maybe closer to 1R, thrilled. But I do expect to see hesitation around that 30K level. I'm really hoping we don't hang out around 30K all the rest of the day. Got about, what, 2.5 hours left here on the day. That would be kind of a bummer. Giddy up, bulls. We don't have time for this, big dogs. All right, 47. Whole bunch of nothing going on 47, rolling over into 48. Tiny little, effectively a doji here on bar 47. Tiny little bare body. So now watching 48. Yeah, we are right ahead of 30K. It's all right. ATR sitting 25-ish. Mario, Isaiah, what's up? How we doing? J-Rob, my man. Fucking damn right. Hit that like or dislike button. Man, you hit it. You hit it. Does the same thing for me, big dog. And use code BIG. 90% off single day pass at Apex. We love it. We love it. By the way, Take Profit is still 40% off, no activation fee. Same code BIG. B-I-G. That activation, that's the 40% off is great off the rip, but the no activation fee is a big deal because that's $130. When you pass it, they'll ask you to pay $130 at Take Profit unless you use code BIG. Then they just activate it for free. Yeah, I'm sitting long on the close of 46. Risk is managed beneath bar 46. We're coming right into 30K, ATR 26. What trading firm you use? Well, what you're seeing on screen right now is NinjaTrader. And I have my Apex accounts plugged in, and I have my TakeProfitTrader accounts plugged in to NinjaTrader. Big Mario, up 4,000. Trading Ram, my man. Tremendous work. All right, here we go. Coming into 30K, obviously a little bit of hesitation is natural. ATR sitting 24-ish. They're trying to pull us on back. Hesitation right ahead of 30K. Again, it's expected. Do you ever trail out, or are you if it hits kind of guy? So I trade rammed, okay? So most of the time I have a target in mind before I even enter the trade, and then I will manage stops, if you want to call that trailing out, if necessary, okay? So if I get an additional signal bar while I'm still in the trade, then I'll trail my stop up to the new price action based stop that's secondary while I'm already in signal bar. Okay, but that doesn't happen on, I'd say most trades, that doesn't happen because, you know, it's resolving itself before that ever happens. You kind of have to thread the needle for that to occur. You guys have seen me do that lots of times. But as far as traditional trailing out, I think it's a psychological crutch that hurts performance overall. All right, bulls. I'd say it's about time to step in and let's challenge 30K. So the average true range here is sitting at 26, 27. I want to see this baby get back up into the 30s minimum. If we can get back to the 40s, that'd be tremendous. The hesitation here around the approach of 30K is not very promising as far as keeping that volatility high through the afternoon, or I should say returning it to high through the afternoon. Again, what I don't want to see is like a 50-point trading range straddling 30K heading into the close here. That would not be great. By the way, man, hit that like button on the stream. I appreciate you doing so. Big dog. Do it to him. Hey, if you're new here, or hit dislike, my man. Whatever you got to do. But you know I need something, man. When you hit either of those buttons, it just hits the dopamine receptors just right. Because Lord knows the market isn't hitting it for me right now because we're going sideways here on Big Bar 50. Man, Big Bar 50 is you're supposed to be special, 50. We got 320 out. Let's get up through 30K. All right, I'm up $50. I should take it, right? Oh, man. Some of you guys would just take that shit. That's crazy. Trevor, don't you get me started. Don't you get me started. Brando, how are we? Yeah, that's right. I could jack my win rate up. I could tout a nice 97% win rate. 1 to 200 reward to risk ratio. That's the part I wouldn't tell you, right? Man, it sucks that there are a lot of guys doing that. You're never gonna hear me speak about another man negatively. I don't even have anyone particular in mind, but it's just, you gotta understand when you're coming into the space, you need to understand this, that someone touting a win rate, it doesn't mean anything. Because you can manipulate it, right? Somebody could have a 6% win rate and make a fucking shit ton of money if they have a huge reward to risk ratio on average, okay? But someone could also have a huge win rate, but if they have, on average, an extraordinarily negative reward to risk, anybody could have a big win rate if you're willing to risk 100 to make 1 or 2, right? Just statistically in the market. So just be on the lookout for that if you're a little bit newer to the industry, that, you know, you can kind of fudge the statistics a little bit, which is unfortunate, but that is the reality. So keep an eye out for that for people that might be doing that. All right, we've gone sideways here just about long enough. Big bar 50. Big disappointment here today. So 51, come on in and clean up after your big brother. All right, Roy, let's calm it down, big dog. He knows how to press the buttons. Let's calm that down now, big guy. By the way, those in charge finally came to their senses. I can't believe it. I cannot believe they came to their senses on PDT. I thought this was going to be a 30-year fight. And we already won. Can you believe it? All right, ATR sitting now 24.25. Chat says, I think that I'd be I think that it would be beneficial for new day traders to trade more, go negative reward to risk, aim for 60%-ish plus win rate while learning and getting their first payout. I don't necessarily disagree. Because you need that confidence. The part where I would add to that is I'd want to see them, trading some sort of repeatable methodology that leads you to make consistent decisions. One of the biggest problems for newish traders is that their decision-making process is random, which makes it not repeatable. And you can't even track it, so how the hell are you supposed to have any idea how you're doing? It would be unreasonable to think that you come in the first year, you just have the discretionary decision-making ability of someone who's been at this for 45 years, even just 10 years. You're not gonna. I don't care how smart you are. This isn't a game of intelligence. You know how many Harvard grads try to trade and fucking fail and go work in tech instead? A whole bunch. This has nothing to do with perceived on-paper intelligence. Okay, this has to do with the ability to be the most persistent motherfucker in the room and be so disciplined it's disgusting. That's it. The guy who fails for 15 years trading and says, the opportunity's too big. I'm too deep now. Can't give it up now. Like, there's almost a benefit to the sunk cost fallacy for traders. Because the guy who graduated, top tier, whatever, from Harvard and gives up after, 6 months, you'll beat him. It doesn't matter that he graduated from Harvard. It has nothing to do with it. A lot of traders, by the way, especially like if you want examples, look at the Chicago pits in the 80s. A lot of these guys, on paper, their teachers would have said they're idiots. Then why are they making 100 times what their teachers made? Because the world, financially at least, this is a different conversation, the world financially doesn't always just reward on paper intelligence. And I think the world is waking up to that, considering college is just off a cliff. Yeah, man, that PDT rule, Jesus. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen implemented. Well, guess we didn't really see it get implemented unless you're a bit older, but PDT was the dumbest, most emotional response to the dot-com bubble that you could have possibly had. What a dumb idea. What kind of anti-American at the helm decided PDT was just this tremendous idea? Get that shit out of here. And now it is! And we love it. We're all pumped up. All right, 51 doing absolutely nothing. 52. The older child, the middle child, bunch of disappointments here. 50 and 51. 52, the youngest, the favorite, the baby. Do it to him. I want to see a 400-point pop. ATR falling a little bit here. We're down to down to 23 on the ATR. That's not too bad. But I don't want to see it fall into the teens, that's for sure. Get ATR, that's the red number, bottom right of your screen. That currently says 23.52. What that means, by the way, that's average true range. That represents the, the average range of a 5-minute candlestick here in terms of points. And that's based on the last 10 candles. All right, bulls, it's about bare minimum. Let's go. Let's get that baby pushing. Okay, ATR 24, maybe 25. And 9 points away from the test of 30K here on NQ. That's Nasdaq futures that we're currently trading. And I, of course, am sitting long currently. Oh man, this hesitation around 30K is killing me! Let's go, bulls. All right, there's the rollover, bar 52 into the open of 53. In a little sideways range. God, you know we hate sideways ranges. Bunch of nothing. Ooh, ATR down to 22, 22.7. Who else is in a trade right now, by the way? In the chat, man. What's your position currently? We got long, 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 flat, long, long. Is anybody short? Everyone in the chat is long or flat, man. It's crazy. Yeah, you know what? If someone in the chat were to go in right now and say that they full port short, I think we would probably get a pop-up through 30K, right? Yeah, maybe someone's got to take one for the team, dude. Does it have to be me? All right, sideways here from bar 47. Currently bar 53, of course. 2 minutes, 40 seconds out. Sitting break even here on the trade. All right, Bulls. I want to see some attitude now. Let's take on 30K. Yeah, that volatility right now is a bit low. I mean, ATR is sitting at 23. You guys remember, is he still here? We used to have a guy who would come into the chat every single day and talk about the Argentina market open. He would always say, waiting for the Argentina market open fireworks. And people would be like, yeah, okay, dude. And then it would happen and the market would actually fucking move. I wonder if he's still here. We could use that right about now. Yeah, I think we need a Trump tweet right about now. We could certainly use it. ATR is down, down, down. Now down to 21 points is the average range here of a 5-minute candle on NQ. In the last 10 5-minute candles. Now, if we stay doing this, you know, bar 51 through bar 54 currently, for another few bars, then we're going to see even more fall off of these two bars. And that's going to be a problem because that's going to tank ATR even further because these are the biggest bars, basically minus 49 of this whole 10-bar sequence. So, but yeah, we know that's coming. You know, I don't live and die by the number, but I don't want to see it, you know, fall beneath 20 because that's not tremendous when the ATR starts dipping into the teens. So if we could get above 30K right about now, that would be, now's the time to do it. Let's get it done. Chicken, what's up? How we doing? Come on in, brother. Oh, shit! Alright, let my copier get flat. Alright, stop, moving on. Let's get away from this range, man. I'll take that if we can just get away from here. Because this, I've been sitting long since bar 46. It's been 40 minutes, man. Probably just got a headline. That's alright. Alright, flat, let's keep it pushing. Let me see if we did get a headline. Was that a Trump tweet? Come on, big man. Oh, you bulls! Don't you dare take us back into the range. Now. Do you see now why I always say how much I dislike these S-tier levels like 30,000? This is Nasdaq Futures, NQ. We're coming right into 30,000. This is a 5-minute chart. Okay, and it has now been almost 45 minutes of absolute sideways action with hesitation. Volatility has fallen off a cliff. As day traders, we need as much volatility as possible. So while everyone else gets excited about testing big S-tier levels like 25,000, 30,000, 35,000, man, we have to get through it, right? Whether it's upside or downside, let's move away from it as fast as humanly possible. Because if it kills volatility, it kills opportunity. And we are 25 points away here from making a test. Let's just get this thing out of the way, dude. Tell you what. All right, ATR sitting 22.23, 25 points out from 30K. In the chat, do you guys think we're testing 30K today, or do you think we're going to head lower and hold off for the whole New York session? What do you think? What do you think? All right. Okay, bar 55. We got a minute 23 till we roll over here. Chat says we're going for low of day. We'll see, big dog. I gotta tell you, when you say that, you're getting me excited. 350 point dump off a cliff, test low a day. We kill it. Kill it to the short side. So we clearly have a big wedge coming into 30K. So those of you guys still in a position, man, how are we sitting now? So curious, because I know you guys are probably still sitting long. I'd be very surprised if NQ does not test 30K. At least test it today. That doesn't mean break it. Just give us a test. If he pops through wicks beneath, that would count for me, but at least touch it. All right, hey, I'm pulling it out, man. It's time to pull out the old trick. Give me 2 minutes. I will be right back. One of you, I don't want to know who it is, make a phone call. I'll be right back to this thing 100 points in either direction. All right, don't go anywhere. All right, what's up? Welcome back. Man, we got a big range. Going sideways. Did nobody make a phone call? For real? I'm expecting to come back here and you guys have our backs, and I'm going to come back and we're going to be 200 points. I'm going to come back on and say, man, we underestimated it. We're 300 points lower. Appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot. Here we are, still in the sideways range. So I guess, let's see what we can make happen here in the sideways range. Right ahead of 30K. ATR 22. Damn, are you kidding me? Man, these bulls, just a bunch of babies! Can't make a move. ATR now 20. Should we start shooting dice? Placing bets? Is that ATR on this next rollover? Maybe sooner. Gonna dip beneath 20. And that's that red number down here. It's the average range of a 5-minute candle. It's currently 20 points. That starts dipping into the teens. It starts making our job more difficult. Quite a bit more difficult. You already start noticing that after you dip beneath 30. So we've been dealing with that. Into the teens, it gets noticeably more difficult to do our job. That ATR on a 5-minute NQ chart dips below 10. It's time to walk away. Yeah, so I'm looking at this. I'm considering a long scalp using the wick low of 54 to manage risk. Just a little tough because, we're fading a bit on the high end of this trading range. But risk would be so damn low, it's like whatever. So I'll just watch how 58 plays out. Maybe I'll take something. So I'll tell you guys what we've seen since bar 47, it is not out of the realm of, now I think the probability of this is going down as the years go on, but I will say it's not out of the realm of possibility for the market to do this, what it's been doing since bar 47, about where my cursor is, sideways, for years on end. And I'll tell you what, if that were to occur, that would be one of the toughest periods of any day trader's financial existence. Now, gratefully, I don't think that anybody would allow that to happen because there's too much money at stake, and there's volatility is necessary to create that opportunity, including for institutions. 40 years ago, it was a little more probable that you could see that happen. Today and 40 years into the future, I think it's just becoming less and less likely, which is good for us. But, everyone likes to think, the market has to do this, it has to do that. Yeah, well, they thought the same about the Japanese market. Take a look at the chart of the Japanese market. It must just go up all the time, right? Not necessarily, dude. Not necessarily. All right, we got bar 59 trying to take out that low of bar 54. Trying hard to do so. I would really like to see this thing just curling off a cliff. Off a cliff, bring back some volatility. ATR is holding on to the 20s. We're sitting at 21.12 right now on the ATR. If we could take this guy lower, it'd be tremendous. Create a whole bunch of opportunity. Oh shit, Mario. Did you really? You accidentally called Jerome Powell? He really told you to fuck off? Damn, bro. He just doesn't care anymore. He said, I'm not the chair. Fuck off my phone, big dog. I always knew that Jerome had it in him, man. You know how many times he wanted to say that to people asking questions and he couldn't? Alright, so we got that wick low here, bar 54, coming right into it. These bears want to take us outside of this range. We'll see if they can. Yeah, we've already seen this whole bunch of times. You may have just not have noticed 80% of breakout attempts in a situation like this where we're in a sideways range are going to eventually fail. Okay, that was actually very impressive out of the bears. Bar 59 closing just beneath the wick low of bar 54. If bar 60 can get nice and low, ideally not grow too much and close clean, I've got a stop limit sell for the bears and not a split second before they're able to do that. Look at this. Yeah, I have a scalp here. I'm gonna bet on the range, keep risk fucking tight. Tight. Now that risk is very, very small. ATR is 21. Risk on this is less than half of an ATR. So of course, probability on this trade is not the highest. You gotta understand that. The beauty here is that if the bears can take out the wick low of 60, which I'm currently using to manage risk on this scalp, then if they can close it up nice and clean, I immediately have another trade to the short side. But until they're able to do that, I have to bet on the range. Chat, would you consider this now to be a bear channel? Not yet. Not yet, Big Trev. All right, we got 222 out, by the way, until bar 60 here closes up. ATR sitting 21. Man, you bulls, you bunch of babies. Hitting me literally within a couple of ticks. Volatility's low, man. All right, less than a minute out here until bar 60 closes up, rolls over into the open of 61. ATR still sitting 21, 21.8. Seconds. All right, here comes the rollover. There we go. Give me a fill. Half ATR scalp. Flat. All right, let's watch 61. Small scalp. But if you see you know, a $20 bill laying on the sidewalk, you're gonna walk over, you're gonna pick it up. I'd probably fucking walk over, to be honest with you. But here we pick it up, my man. Easy glider question. Actually, you know what? I'd probably pick it up and hand it to someone if they were sitting on the sidewalk or something. What's the 92 represent next to your live P&L? That's the position size. It's the amount of contracts I'm trading. All right. So these bulls taking us right back into the sideways range. Oh, Billy says we're picking it up, man. We'll pick up an Apex 250K 90% off, my man. With what code, though? How do you get that? Code BIG, B-I-G, over at Apex. They got crazy deals going. Crazy! And you can trade 20 accounts. Chat, nothing gets me more fired up than scalping. I love scalping. I love scalping, but you gotta be careful because if you're scalping there's a very fine line, and scalping's the easiest place to cross that fine line. You need to, look, I give you full permission to scalp, not that it's fucking up to me, but if you asked, as long as you're doing repeatable things that fit within your methodology. You're making repeatable decisions that make logical sense. If you look back on a day of scalping and you're like, shit, a lot of that was kind of random. I made a lot of random decisions. That's not a good day of scalping, dude. And that's the quickest way because the commissions are higher. Any slippage you get on stop outs is going to add up to be more because you're taking more trades during the day. I think things can go down the tubes the absolute quickest scalping, which feels like that wouldn't be the case. It's 100% the case. If you're doing it with negative expected value. So if you want to scalp, I love scalping, but you got to keep yourself really honest. It's the hardest part of being a scalper is keeping yourself honest. And by the time you look back, and Matt, if you took 72 trades that day, you took 117 trades that day, you had 245 tickets that day. There's nothing wrong with that. If 90% plus you look back on it, you're like, I stand by that, man. That was a good logical decision that fit my methodology. Then hit it. But you're going to pay commission and fees and slippage. Why, what's up, my man? Hey, by the way, if any of you guys, I don't even know if you know what I'm saying. If any of you guys don't speak English or you don't speak the best English, please just put your comment into a translator and pop it in the chat here. Big Trev says, I don't even look for good trades anymore. I just look for good opportunities to put on risk. 100%. Look, our job, guys, like it or not, our job here as traders, is to put on risk. Okay? It is not to just show up to the market and make money. Because why are you have to ask yourself, why is the potential to make money in the market so damn high? Because you're putting on risk. You have to add value in order to be paid. Okay? Your value add to the market is having the guts to put on risk. That's the value add here, right? And the more risk you're willing to put on, calculated risk, the more you can potentially get paid. Okay, so rather than looking for good trades, yes, 100%, look for good opportunities to place risk. 62, bar 62, 334 out. We got bar 62, 220 out. ATR still sitting at 20. What do you guys think? Are we heading lower? Or Or are we gonna head right back into that sideways range? All right, 35 seconds out until big bar 62 rolls over. Chat says, going higher for now. Haven't seen a big change of structure yet to the low. Also, this bitch is hitting the high we've been chasing all day, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll see. Honestly, I would be very, very shocked if the market doesn't test 30K at all today. But we have less than an hour and a half left here until the close-up of New York session, at least. So, the deeper we pull in, man, if I can get a good setup short side, you know I'm going to hit it. You know I'm going to hit it, but I would be surprised if that ends up being the case. There we go. All right, 63, looking good here thus far. Well, Bear's having a little bit of trouble taking this lower on 63. Again, I'm watching that wick low here of 60, bar 60. What I don't want to see is a brand new sideways range like this. That would not be tremendous. Question, when would this turn into a bear channel for you, Nico? Probably another, like, nice clean bear body down here. Close. You know, we've really only had one, which was bar 59, and it closed barely outside of it. Bar 62, still an inside close now. Right at 59 and 60. So I'm just, I can't be convinced yet. If I had to do anything at all right now, I would have to bet on the sideways trading range. But that could quickly change here if I get a nice clean bear body closing like down here. Yeah, you see that? Bull's popping it right back up into the range. Question, what would be the motivation to come back above 30K here on NQ? Motivation? I'd say just the balance, man, between the bulls and the bears. Motivation, I think, to put your finger on it would be a little bit hand-wavy. Okay, a lot of this is self-fulfilling prophecy. When there's not headlines specifically driving the market, again, a lot of it is self-fulfilling prophecy, and which is why I trade price action. And which is also why, for example, if I get a huge, beautiful RAM continuation setup, I should specify, coming into a stop hunt, that's why that's one of my, on the averages over a big sample size, that's one of my monster situations. It's tremendous. Because, again, in a trend especially, a lot of it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if the bears are so strong, it's going to show in the price action on a continuation trade to the short side, entering with a stop limit sell. Right? Or hell, market order, whatever. And the bulls get a bit nervous and take a step back. That's true for humans. It's true for institutions. It's true for algorithms. It just becomes a big self-fulfilling prophecy. Should I say it again? Self-fulfilling prophecy. But it's true. It's very true, which is why price action trading can be so effective. All right, 52 seconds out. All right, there's the close of 63 into the open of 64. Now, right in this region here, you see how from 60 to 63, we kind of have a new sideways range, but it's like, wait a second, are we going to just return to the sideways range from bar 47 onward? Or are we going to reject harder, maybe get a nice clean close lower, and maybe start forming that soft bear channel that you guys in chat were talking about? Or are we going to form a new sideways range? This is probably the least probable scenario. But a new sideways range and keep it tight from 60 onward. This right here, as 63, 64 kind of retest the previous low of that sideways range from, where my cursor's at, like this region. This right here means a lot, at least to me, contextually speaking. What ends up happening right here around this 29, 960, 965 region in general. Hey man, if you haven't yet, appreciate you doing so. Hit like on the stream. Big dog. All right. Oh, ATR into the teens. 19 on the ATR. We don't love that. So I'll tell you what, man, if that ATR doesn't come back up into at least the 20s, I'll tell you what, I think our prayer for going back into the 40s is just about done for the day. We've got about an hour left here until the 3:50 Eastern Time algo. And ATR is sitting at about 19.6. That's a tall order, especially staring this range straight in the face. Chat says, had my best day so far, up 3,200 bucks. Oh, you love to see it. We fucking love to see it. Where else in the world? And by the way, like, homeboy's just getting started, but where else in the world can you show up, make 3,200 bucks, and walk away? And then it only goes up from there, doesn't it? Quite the opportunity. That's why it's so difficult. You should appreciate that it's so difficult because that's what creates this opportunity. All right, bar 65. ATR, oh my goodness. I don't want to say it, it's 17. It's 17. James up 850 today, doing super good. Love to see it. My man. My man. All right, ATR is reclaiming 18. Again, hey, in the teens, on a 5-minute NQ chart, that average range of a bar starts dipping into the teens in terms of points. Makes our job a little tougher. You know, there's still opportunity in the teens, but if it dips below 10, that's where it starts getting problematic. It's probably time to walk away, just from an expected value perspective, right? You see this now? Bear's rejecting us a hair early. So the look previously had been kind of like this, right? Now the question becomes, are we turning into this or... This over here is still very new. It's very short-lived. It's a little early for me to just start shorting it in this region, kind of this crossover point, because this big trading range here, let's get rid of all this and I can redraw. There's still a lot of potential that could be gone relatively soon, but there's a lot of potential for this guy to just kind of become the whole new trading range. Yeah, that's right. So in chat here, they say when it's 14 different arguments, it's a range. 100%. Very good. Very good work. If you can make too many arguments, it's a big sideways range, 90% plus of the time. Jared, what's up, brother? Live every single day, my man. Hope to see you become a regular. So again, let me draw it here. Little trick for us day traders, when you can draw this, and you can also draw this, and you can also draw this, right, and this. When you can make way too many arguments, the answer, 90% of the time, is sideways trading range. You default to that when you're confused and you can make too many arguments. I think it's going to improve your trading a lot. So let's watch here now. 65 closes up. We got 24 seconds out. Almost certainly going to be an inside close. There we go, Bears. All right, 80% of breakout attempts will eventually fail. Watching 66 very carefully. Very carefully here. I would love to see this baby get closed lower, so we can get away from this range. When I'm talking trading ranges, guys, you gotta understand, I don't mean it as a good thing. We want to get away from, tight trading ranges. All right, halfway through bar 66 here. All right. 90 seconds out. Bar 66. Now this would be the first bar closing outside of really any sideways argument you can make, which means what? What does that mean? Can anyone in the chat tell me? What would that make this trade? What would I call this trade if I did take it? Fucking right. My man, the early trade. The early trade. Beauty! I love when you guys know the answer. "45 seconds out. Now you see that wick back? That's not so unexpected now, is it? Yeah, you see that? Bears trying to break us out. That's why it's the early trade, even if they can close it up, and they're not going to do it. Sucking this way back. You think that's a coincidence? There's the rollover, closing basically at the wick low of 63. Bunch of babies! These bears are. There you go, 67. Good work, bar 67 here so far. ATR 19, it's low. It's low. Volatility is certainly low. I would love to see this breakout just succeed, bring volatility back up to 32. This number here that says 19, it's a tall order. It's a tall order. It's already 2 o'clock central here. This is a 5-minute chart that you're looking at, 5-minute NQ chart. It's Nasdaq futures. Okay, 250 out. I'm watching bar 67 here extraordinarily carefully, closely, I should say, to see if we can get a nice clean bear close, but a wick higher is not the most improbable thing in the world. All right, less than 2 minutes here. Less than 2 minutes. Big dogs. Let's see what we get here out of 67. By the way, man, aside from trading, how we doing today? We having a good day? Fuck. I don't want to hear about your trade. I want to hear what'd you have for breakfast, man? What'd you eat for lunch? All right, bar 67 here. We got a wick. I got to see us close down in the low teens minimum. Range here about 31 points. ATR is 20. All right. Not too bad. 60 seconds out. Steak and eggs, my man. Chicken and white rice. That's what I'm about to eat in about 20 minutes here. We love it. All right. 35 seconds. All right, that bar is not small. It's not small. But, tell you what, if we can get a nice clean close, don't wick back. Don't you wick back. Stop limit sell is ready. Ooh, you see how I hesitated to place that? That was on purpose, so that on the rollover, because you see that shift, I would have placed it up here. Gotten a fill that I didn't want. So I wait a second, because when a bar falls off the end of your chart, it can shift, and then you'll end up placing it on accident in a spot you don't want it. So I'm only going to give that about 25 seconds here, just because that bar 67 is pretty sizable. If the bears can't take it out, I do not want to be a part of this. That right there is 25 seconds. Pull it, no fill, no trade. That's all right. That's all right. Good Lord, man. What are all you guys prepping for the Olympia? What are we, 12 weeks out? Jesus. I had a half carton of egg whites, two eggs, some sourdough, chicken and rice, eggs and avocado. Where's my Macker's breakfast, homeboys at? Come on, dude. Everybody's on prep. We love it. On point, big dog. Massive, copious amounts of beer. All right, dude. How's that working in the trading, though? Lasagna, man. I could use a fucking big plate of lasagna right about now. All right, you see this bull body? Heading right back up, bar 68. Right back up into the range. All right, guys, I'll tell you what. I will see you guys tomorrow. We got a big Pharaoh Friday tomorrow. We love it. Hit like on the way out. See you guys then, man. Have a tremendous rest of your power hour. See you soon.